Imagine a country of 90 million people and finding one person in that crowd. It sounds impossible, yet recent reports say it can be done. Through billions of tiny data points, modern systems can pinpoint an individual. And with AI agents, now, even the guy running a homeless beggar scam can track anyone 24/7 across the globe. The average person is not digitally safe. We'll break down how it works and how you can protect yourself. Every device you carry or use sends out tiny signals. Wi-Fi probes, GPS pings, app logs. Every swipe on your phone, every login attempts, all add to your digital exhaust. There are a few settings most people never touch that dramatically reduce tracking. First, disable cross-app tracking. Go to Settings, Privacy and Security, then Tracking, and turn off Allow apps to request to track. This stops apps from sharing your activity across different apps and websites. Without it, advertising networks can build behavioral identity graphs that follow you across the internet. Next, delete your location history. Your iPhone actually stores the places you frequently visit, your home, your workplace, your daily routes. What you're deleting here is essentially a database of your movement patterns. Go to Settings, Privacy, Location Services, System Services, then Significant Locations. Turn it off and clear the history. Another feature to know about is the small green and orange dots that appear at the top of your screen. The green dot means an app is using your camera. The orange dot means it's using your microphone. These indicators are real-time hardware monitoring built into iOS. If a sensor activates, the operating system shows it immediately. You can also audit exactly what apps have accessed your data. Go to Settings, Privacy and Security, then App Privacy Report. This shows which apps recently accessed your camera, microphone, location, contacts, and other sensitive data. Think of it like a forensic log of how your apps are behaving behind the scenes. Another powerful protection is randomizing your phone's network identity. Every device normally broadcasts a unique MAC address to Wi-Fi networks. That means networks can track the same device over time. Go to Settings, Wi-Fi, tap the info icon next to your network, and enable private Wi-Fi address. This rotates your device identity so networks can't track your phone as easily. You can also encrypt your entire iCloud account end-to-end. Go to Settings, tap your Apple ID, then iCloud, and enable Advanced Data Protection. This encrypts your photos, backups, notes, and other data so that only your devices can decrypt it. Once enabled, even Apple cannot read the contents of your stored data. And finally, lock down AirDrop. Go to Settings, General, then AirDrop, and set it to Contacts Only or Receiving Off. Leaving it open allows nearby devices to send files to your phone, which has been used for spam and malicious file attacks in crowded areas. Apple includes one more feature that's worth understanding: iCloud Private Relay. Private Relay works by masking your IP address when you browse the web in Safari. Instead of your request going directly from your device to a website, Apple routes it through two separate relay servers. One relay removes your real IP address, and the other delivers the request to the destination website. The result is that the website can't directly see your real location or IP address, and your internet provider can't easily see the specific websites you're visiting. But there's an important limitation: Private Relay only protects Safari browsing. Let's trace a real packet through the internet. Imagine it's Oscars night. The 98th Academy Awards are on TV, and your family is watching Best Picture. People are debating which film should win. Is it Sinners, starring Michael B. Jordan and directed by Ryan Coogler, or One Battle After Another, starring Leonardo DiCaprio and Sean Penn, directed by Paul Thomas Anderson? Then a commercial break starts. You pick up your phone, open Instagram, and see a post that says, "Vote now for who should win Best Picture." You tap the link. A website opens. It looks polished, fast, and completely normal. You tap Sinners, or maybe you tap One Battle After Another. Then suddenly, the Oscars come back on TV, so you put your phone down and look back at the screen. That tiny moment matters. Phones are dangerous because people move quickly, screens are smaller, and warning signs are easier to miss. That is exactly the environment phishing attacks exploit. So now, let's trace what just happened. Your browser creates a request. It says, "Send me this web page." This request is called HTTP. This is the application layer, the layer where apps and websites operate. Many tracking technologies live here. Things like cookies, tracking pixels, analytics scripts, advertising identifiers, and browser fingerprinting. This is also where fake poll sites, phishing pages, and malicious scripts can exist. A page does not need to look suspicious to be dangerous. It can look like entertainment, news, or a harmless fan vote. But behind the page, code can still run. It can collect identifiers, redirect you, probe your browser, or trick you into starting a download or approval flow. Sometimes the bait is not a big red warning. It can be a normal-looking button that says, "Next page, continue, or view results." That click can trigger a redirect, open a malicious page, or begin an infection chain without looking dramatic. Defenses at this layer include privacy browsers, tracker blocking, JavaScript control, safe browsing filters, and secure website design. But the request still needs to travel across the internet. Before your request is sent, it is encrypted. Your phone performs something called a TLS handshake with the server. This creates a secure, encrypted connection. Now, the content of the message cannot easily be read by someone in the middle. This is why modern websites show the lock icon in your browser. But encryption only protects the contents of the message, not all of the surrounding information. Some signals still exist in the lower layers. Now the data is split into pieces. These pieces are called TCP segments. TCP ensures the pieces arrive in the correct order. If one piece gets lost, it gets sent again. This layer is responsible for reliable delivery. Security defenses here include things like firewalls and connection filtering. Now those segments are placed inside something called an IP packet. This packet includes your device's IP address and the destination server's IP address. Routers across the internet read these addresses and forward the packet toward its destination. This layer determines how the packet travels across the global network. Tracking at this layer often involves IP addresses, geographic routing, and traffic patterns. Tools like VPNs operate mostly at this layer. They hide your real IP address from the destination website, but they do not hide everything. If you log into an account, the service still knows who you are. Now the packet is wrapped again, this time into a Wi-Fi frame. Your phone sends that frame to your router. Inside your home network, devices communicate using MAC addresses. These are hardware identifiers assigned to network interfaces. Local network attacks or device tracking can sometimes occur here. Network segmentation and modern routers help reduce risk at this layer. Finally, the packet becomes something physical. Your phone transmits radio waves. Those radio waves travel through the air to your router. Your router converts those signals back into digital data and forwards the packet to the internet. This is the physical layer, the literal movement of signals. Now imagine you tap like on an Instagram post. Your phone sends a tiny packet to Instagram's servers. The packet might say something like, user 48291 liked post 927314. That packet goes through the exact same layers: application, encryption, transport, network routing, Wi-Fi transmission, radio signals. Even though the message itself is encrypted, metadata still exists. Platforms can still observe things like when you interacted, what device you used, how often you interact, where the request originated. Over time, those signals form behavioral patterns. Now imagine filtering 90 million people by all these signals. It's Bayesian inference. Each clue raises the probability that this cluster is the target. Mathematically, you multiply likelihoods and update the posterior probability. Eventually, one hypothesis dominates. The targeting system itself is a layered infrastructure. At layer 1, data is collected globally: satellites scanning, RF monitors listening, cameras recording, and phones pinging cell towers. At layer 2, that data is correlated. Graph databases link accounts. Temporal clustering aligns events. Colocation reveals meetup points. Anomaly detection flags patterns. The result is a constantly evolving probability map. Physical sensors power layer 1. For example, license plate cameras are everywhere: toll booths, traffic cams, private security. Each time a car passes, its plate is logged. Thousands of these logs create a travel history. Similarly, face cameras scan crowds. A key concept: the license plate is just a database index. Combined with other signals, it helps zero in. Modern systems often use biometrics. A face or gait is converted into a digital fingerprint. Companies like Clearview AI scraped billions of images online. Upload one photo, and their database returns possible matches. Similar lawsuits detail how mobile apps scanned faces, often without explicit consent. Again, it's not magic eyes, it's pattern matching at scale. Your phone is the ultimate tracker. It constantly emits data: GPS, Bluetooth, app usage, accelerometer patterns. It is your digital identity token. Attacks on phones, spyware, phishing can give an adversary everything. As one cybersecurity expert quipped, "Why intercept data when you can just hack the endpoint?" If another app connects to the internet, like Instagram, TikTok, a game, or a messaging app, that traffic does not go through private relay. And private relay does not allow you to choose your location or appear as if you're browsing from another country. This is where a VPN becomes useful. A VPN, or virtual private network, encrypts your internet traffic and routes it through a secure server before it reaches the internet. Unlike private relay, a VPN protects all traffic leaving your device, not just Safari. That includes apps, browsers, background services, system connections. Everything is encrypted and routed through the VPN tunnel. This is especially useful when using public Wi-Fi networks, like airports, hotels, cafes, or co-working spaces, where attackers sometimes monitor network traffic looking for unprotected connections. A VPN also allows you to choose the region your traffic appears to come from, which can mask your physical location authentication online. So while Private Relay protects Safari browsing, a VPN protects the entire device network layer. And that same protection is useful not only on mobile devices, but also on laptops and desktop computers. Even your browser betrays you. Websites drop cookies and track device fingerprints, font lists, canvas rendering. Ad networks tie this together into profiles. But protecting your connection is only one part of the problem. The second major risk comes from malicious websites, malware, and online scams. This is where tools like Malwarebytes come in. Malwarebytes is security software designed to protect devices from malicious software, phishing attacks, and online scams before they can infect your system. One of its most important features is real-time malware protection. Malware is software designed to secretly run on your device and collect information, steal data, or control parts of the system. For example, imagine downloading a seemingly harmless file, maybe a free textbook PDF or free movie download. Hidden inside that download could be a small program that quietly installs itself on your computer. Once installed, it could monitor your activity, steal browser cookies, capture keystrokes, or attempt to access saved passwords. Anti-malware software works by constantly scanning files and programs as they run. If the software detects known malicious code patterns or suspicious behavior, it blocks the program before it can execute. Another feature Malwarebytes provides is safe web browsing protection. Many cyber attacks don't require downloading anything at all. Instead, attackers create fake websites designed to trick people into entering passwords, credit card numbers, or personal information. For example, someone might receive an email that looks like it came from a bank. The email includes a link that appears legitimate, but the website is actually a phishing page designed to capture login credentials. Malwarebytes monitors websites in real time and blocks connections to domains known to host scams, phishing pages, or malware. Another major feature in the Malwarebytes Ultimate plan is ad and scam blocking. Online advertising networks often track browsing behavior across thousands of websites. They place tracking scripts and cookies that follow your activity across the internet. Blocking these trackers not only improves privacy, but also prevents malicious advertising networks, sometimes called malvertising, from delivering infected ads that redirect users to exploit pages. Another growing threat is identity theft. Large data breaches happen constantly. Companies lose databases containing names, emails, phone numbers, and sometimes even social security numbers. Once this information is leaked, criminals can use it to open credit accounts, impersonate victims, or attempt targeted scams. Identity protection services monitor for signs that your personal information is being used fraudulently. Some services even include insurance coverage that helps cover financial losses and recovery costs if identity theft occurs. The Malwarebytes Ultimate plan includes identity protection with up to $2 million in coverage, which can help cover legal costs, stolen funds, and recovery services if someone attempts to use your identity. Another feature that's becoming increasingly important is personal data removal. Over the past decade, hundreds of data broker companies have built massive databases containing personal information about individuals. These databases often include things like home addresses, phone numbers, family members, employment history, and property records. These records are then sold to advertisers, marketers, or sometimes anyone willing to pay for access. Data removal tools automatically search these broker databases and submit removal requests to delete your information from them. This reduces how easily someone can search your name and find detailed personal information online. Up until now, we've talked about cameras, phones, biometrics, web tracking, and IoT devices. But all of these systems have one thing in common. They rely on the same underlying system, the transportation of data. To understand where signals come from and where they can be observed, we need to understand something called the OSI model. But before that, we need to start with something even simpler. Every computer system only does three things. It creates data, it moves data, and it stores data. That's it. When you send a text message, that message becomes data. When you like a post on Instagram, that interaction becomes data. When you buy something on Amazon, that purchase becomes data. When you upload a video to YouTube, your computer is simply sending a large collection of data to another computer. All of these actions are just data being created, transported, and stored somewhere else. And that transportation happens through something called packets. A packet is just a small container of data. Your phone sends packets, servers send packets, routers forward packets. The entire internet is just trillions of packets moving between machines every second. The OSI model is a way of understanding how those packets move through networks. The OSI model divides networking into 7 layers. Each layer has a different job. You can think of it like shipping a package. One system writes the message, another system encrypts it, another system chooses the route, another system physically moves it. Each layer handles one part of the process. From bottom to top, the layers are Layer 1, physical, Layer 2, data link, Layer 3, network, Layer 4, transport, Layer 5, session layer, 6, presentation foundation layer. 7. Application. In real systems, these layers often blur together, but the model is useful because signals, tracking, and attacks can happen at different layers. Because different risks exist at different layers, no single product solves everything. A VPN protects your network routing identity, but it does not stop tracking scripts, malicious apps, account compromise. A secure router protects your home network, but it cannot stop spyware on a phone. A privacy browser reduces web tracking, but it cannot stop signals generated by IoT devices. Security works best when protections exist across multiple layers. This approach is called defense in depth. Even when people use security tools, vulnerabilities remain. Software bugs, misconfigured systems, zero-day vulnerabilities, and often the biggest vulnerability of all, human behavior.
Hey, I'll give you $5 if you give me $50. Okay, deal.
Many successful attacks do not break encryption. They simply convince people to reveal information. So the real question isn't, how do you disappear from the internet? That's almost impossible. The better question is, how do you reduce your signal exposure? And how do you protect the layers where attacks are most likely to happen? That's where practical defenses begin.